Hey guys, Scully here. Gonna do a review on the rotor. I'm gonna try a little different back mat, see how it works out, see if the color works fine. I've had this for about 2 years now. I haven't had very much problems. Actually, I should say no problems. The only problem I've ever had is with really cold weather and brittle paint. And then, any balls exploding up in here from getting ball chops and whatnot. Other than that, it's performed stellar. And I don't have the box because, again, this is 2 years old and boxes don't last for 2 years in a gear bag. So originally it would kind of come like this. The box would fold open like this and then close and whatever. No one cares about boxes. Comes with a manual. Just kind of give you the details, insides of it, how to take it out, what the lever under here does, the internals, and then how to take the top off to put speed feeds, new lids on, and then exploded detail of how, whatever, and then legal. I have this Exalt speed feed in mine. It works good for price. I recommend them if you just don't want to spend $40 in a Virtue, or $30 for an HK is what they're running for. Hustle did come out with a video where, because in order to run a lid, you have to take this off, push this pin from the back, put the lid in, and then there's the springs over there in order to put the lid on. Well, Hustle came with a thing that you can do where you put the pin back in this top portion, you take a Dremel and you Dremel out like a notch on the top part and the bottom part. And so what you can do is you can slide it into the pin and kind of snap it in there, so you can temporarily use it as a lid. But if you mess up, I don't take any liability for it. So, you just pop it off and you still have your speed feed, put it back on, whatever. It's really cool. Just check out the video. I'll try to find a link for it and put it in the description. Now, to turn it on, you just press this button. Bright blue, you can hear it's running. You have nice windows, you can see into the hopper to see if you have, paint. This lever down here activates as an anti-jam. What it does is it turns the actual red wheel, or I don't know the term for it, but the portion that actually moves paint down into the gun, it reverses it. So it pushes the paint back out and lets it go back in. The other cool feature is so you've got balls into the gun and you want to get them out, but if you take the hopper off, they're all going to fall out. So you tip the gun upside down with the hopper on it. You pull that a couple of times, and what that does is it pushes whatever balls are up in here and back into the hopper, which is a really cool feature. To get into it, all you do is you pull this latch up, and what that does is it acts like a locking tab. So right now I can push the button in, now I can't. To get into it, you just push the tab in and pull the top part up while you hold the bottom part down, and then you've got your two pieces. This is a V3 rotor. The other rotors didn't have straps on the batteries, and I think they had like the Allen keys for the screws. Get later to that port. To get to this lid part to come off, just this part comes off to get to your speed feeds. You take these screws out, and this whole lid portion comes off. And then rotors do have specific speed feeds made for them because they're just like a flat piece of rubber or a big round ring. Other than that, you can kind of see that's where the pin goes. So you have to take this piece off in order to get to this. Now for the internals. To get it off, you just push this little lever forward and then this pops off. This is the ramp part. It keeps the balls going into the feeding system. You can run underwater. There's nothing gonna rust, break. I mean, there's a spring, but you don't have to worry about it. Next, to get the internal systems out, you just push these tabs outwards. First piece comes off. Second piece. Third piece. And fourth piece. So that's pretty much just all the internals. So when it's spinning, so when I was pulling that little lever, that's what this was doing. It was turning this back. So you can see there's a ramp. So what it was doing is it's pushing balls back up and getting everything out of the system. And then just doing that, the gravity was pushing them out. To get the battery compartment out and the motor, you just pull up. And that's your motor. You got your on button. You've got the straps for the version 3s. Takes 3 AA's. I know the RDR that just came out takes 4 because of the chronograph. The Virtue Spire, I'm not sure. I think that took 3 or 4. And the other hoppers I'm not sure about. Other than that, you don't need to worry about anything else on this. The only concern I have is make sure you watch out for this thing because it can fall out. Other than that, just kind of review the main parts that you have, that are just whatever, that's it. These are your parts. That's not a lot. That's very simple, easy, and you can just throw these in the sink, let them rinse, whatever, and then you just pull them out, let them air dry, and that's it. To put it together, just do it in reversed order. Make sure you put this in, because I've had times where I forgot it at home and it got to the field and I've had to find something very smaller than my pinky to get in there to push that yellow button. So you push the button back in. Make sure that lever is pushed forward. I always have struggles with this. There we go. And I just kind of like to make sure that I do have it set in place. Set the red wheels with the red wheel with the white wheels in first. The black, I guess you call it bowl. I'll call it the bowl. The actual feeding portion of it, and then the cap. And then when you do set these in, you have to angle them because there's a little tab, so you can't just kind of set them in straight. You have to kind of swoop it in. And then once it's in, if you know you have it installed right, you just push these over and then it locks it in. That's it. To get the cover system in, there's little tabs right here. So you can't just set it, if you set it in like that and lock it in, it's not going to sit right and it just won't lock in. So you got to put it underneath, push it under, and then push back here, and you should hear a snap. Then it's locked in. And then you'll see like a little notch and a little tab on the hopper. You put that notch in the hole. You push this forward. So punch that tab forward. And it should click in, and then done. And then everything still works. That's about it. My recommendations, I could say, or what I'd like Dye to do is, let me grab an empty hopper really quick, or pod, is when you're feeding a pod into the rotor, I wish they could make the hole a little bit bigger, because you have to like perfectly, I'm just kind of using the other end as size, you have to perfectly kind of almost match it. I mean, you can go like this. To get a good fill, you just go in and get them all in. So I maybe say, make it A little bit bigger. It is. I think the Virtue Spire is lighter than this. The plastic is very thick and durable. I've had this smash into trees and it's fine. The only thing is these stickers or jewels are falling off. I'd like to see maybe the windows being bigger so I could see into it. Maybe having them come down to here or something. Other than that, I wouldn't touch the drivetrain system. It's simple. It works. Yeah, so that's my review on the Rotor.